today. It's a cube, and you just toss it to whoever you want to. I will pass it on to you all,
Put it on?
and throw it out there.
Oh, you throw it to them, I see.
I'm glad you raised your hand first.
Can we put this in there?
It's not gonna work.
You have to catch it though. You don't catch it, you don't get a question.
Next. No, just joking.
Actually, I probably won't need it. You probably get this a lot, but were you guys familiar with the Sentai at all before you took your roles as Power Ranger actors?
I wasn't.
No.
I was not.
No, they discouraged us from watching it. Like, yeah, they were like, we want you to do your own thing. Even like watching the previous season, because they wanted us to come on. Obviously, we came on, replacing other Rangers, so they wanted us to kind of do our own thing. But yeah, we didn't even know much about it. We just knew it was a Japanese show, and it was totally different. And everybody would say, oh, it's dark, it's totally different. You don't have to watch it. It has nothing to do with the American version. But I've seen it now, so it's very cool. Thank you. Good job. They started lecturing this place.
Yeah.
They've got to get through it somehow.
They give us water?
Give us water.
It'd be a totally different panel though.
He gets naked when he drinks.
Hey, who's got the microphone? Boss.
Hi, so quick question. Can you give us any updates on the Order movie?
Yeah. Well, we're shooting. We're looking at dates now. We're officially going to be fully funded in May. So, yay! I know, getting funding one time was one thing, but getting it twice is a whole nother thing. So keep praying, guys. But no, we're going to be looking at dates. Hopefully, our goal is hopefully to shoot in September and then have it done so that we can go to Sundance in January. So we'll see. Keep praying. Thank you for being so positive. Thank you for being so great. Yeah.
Throw the box.
Throw the box. Yeah, you gotta throw it far. Watch your head.
She was like,
We have no insurance at Lexington Comic Con. So don't even try it.
How did each of you guys get into Power Rangers? Like, how did you get recruited per se?
I was walking in this dark alley. There's an Israeli guy.
Named Shuki.
No, for us, I don't know how you heard about it. I was studying Kung Fu, and my instructor was looking through the newspaper, and he saw an article that they're looking for Power Rangers. And so basically, I just went to an open cattle call that they had kind of nationwide. So like an American Idol kind of thing where they have
totally.
auditions all over the place, And so there are thousands of people where we auditioned in Dallas, but they did that nationwide, all over the place. So how did you hear about it?
A friend of mine told me about it. Same thing, newspaper, it was in the newspaper. She was like, you got to audition for the show. And I don't know how I did not know about Power Rangers. I was like trying to get into college. So I had no clue about the show. And I wished I was in a Kung Fu class. I would have felt, I was like, I'm just going to fake it till I make it. And luckily they fell for it. But I newspaper ad, and a friend of mine told me about it, and he's right. It was a extreme cattle call. Like the line you saw to get into the con today, that was similar.
It was
and we waited hours just to get 60 seconds to do something, and luckily they liked us.
Yeah, and then the show is already really successful in America, but wasn't showing in Australia yet. So I just went out for a regular audition for a kids show. That's all they told me. I didn't know I was going to be a Power Ranger. I didn't even know what that Power Ranger was, so I guess it wouldn't have mattered if they told me that.
Did you know it was going to be in America?
Yes, I did know that, so I was excited about that. So I did a scene, and then I had to do a martial arts routine, which thank God that hasn't surfaced, because that was embarrassing.
Somebody has that tape.
Someone has it, please.
It's on
You've got to
the
video.
Beg of you.
It's on the Blu-ray.
Yeah. And then I met with the producers, and then about 3 weeks later, they told me I was coming over. It wasn't until I signed the contracts and everything that I realized I was replacing Amy. So, yeah, so it was very exciting.
Pass the square. Oh, that was so easy. You just did like that. You gotta go across. You gotta go all the way across next time.
I promise I'll do it when I get done with my question. But for this question, I ask forgiveness for Catherine and Karen. This question goes for Johnny. If you had the 6 Rangers from the season 3 of the original Power Rangers, Johnny, who among your anime characters, who would you have them go against?
6 anime characters?
Among your list, from Ichigo to Vash to every voice character you've done, who would you have go against the 6 Power Rangers, including Tommy?
To fight the Rangers.
Question.
Okay.
Dun dun dun.
Jonathan Joestar. Because you need that. He would be like the Black Ranger, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Ichigo for sure. Nero. Let's see. Let's throw in some crazy. Lelouch.
Kunjin versus Pink Rangers, Bo versus Bo?
No helping. No helping.
I don't know.
He's got a vision on this.
Hang on. Just hang on. Just wait. Be patient. Oh, Vash. I gotta throw Vash in there. One more.
Do you do any female voices? You need to get a girl, man.
In Trigun, I played an old woman behind the door, yeah.
There, that's her.
Artemis, I'd throw Artemis in there. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Now I want somebody to make that.
Yes.
Write it down.
Yeah.
There you go.
For Johnny. Yeah. I've known one of your voice actors was from the Disgaea series as Almas, and I've been a big Disgaea fan since forever. Just how did you get that role, just for that video game role?
Man, that was a long time ago. I assume I auditioned. Just like Johnny, you got this
You
part.
got it, Joey. You're the ball, man.
I'm pretty sure I auditioned, but I didn't know anything about the series going into it. But it was a lot of fun though, because he was a wild, kind of goofy character, a younger range somewhere in there. Super fun. I never played the game though, so yeah. That's weird, right? It's like working on something and not
Can you
watching
hold this
it.
because I'm gonna have to duck
Which is really common.
he's gonna
Like,
ask a question. I'm not wanting to get hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Specific ones where I worked on it, I was like, oh, I want to see how it turned out.
Let me know when you go up.
I usually just fast forward to the fight scene.
I think on set too, he would always just want to watch the fight scenes.
Yeah.
So
Skip the lines.
Yeah, skip the lines, just skip the fight. Do I have a fight?
Where am I fighting? Am I fighting? All the guys are like that.
Way over there, look over there. Throw it.
Yeah, all the way across. All the
Beam
way
it.
across.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know, Karen, you said you've seen some Super Sentai.
Just
This is a
until he
question
gets
for
his
all of
question
you.
up.
If you've seen any Super Sentai, what are your favorite seasons?
Ooh. You know what? That's a good question for like in a month. I'm having to watch like a boatload of Super Sentai because I'm hosting a live stream on Twitch with I think Shout Factory is doing some kind of March Madness of all the Super Sentai, and so I'm actually having to watch a lot of it so that I can be able to talk about it. So in a month, check back with me.
Tying her down to a chair.
Yeah.
Like, like Clockwork Orange. Like,
Tell me your favorite. The only one I've seen is the Zoo Ranger series, obviously, so that's my favorite for right now.
I haven't watched like full seasons of it. I've seen like bits and pieces, episodes here and there. And there's the Zeo. I don't know what it is. What Zeo is? A Ranger. So, Ranger. Actually, the season that they skipped, where they took the White Ranger from, why did they do that? Those suits were so cool. It's like the best helmets, and they're doing kung fu. My guy was doing kung fu. I'm like, dude, that's so perfect, and they skipped it. But that one's cool. Yeah, right, exactly. You mean Tommy? All right. So I watched in Ranger there was because I was like, this show is like a kid's show. It's really, I thought it would be easy to write. Basically, I was very arrogant, and at that time, as far as like, this is a cheesy show, anybody could write it. So I went upstairs where the writers were, and I was like, I want to try to write an episode. And they were like, oh sure, okay. And they gave me a box full of Sentai series stuff, and so I popped one in. And then he was like, just watch it, and basically the idea is to pull as much footage as possible, because we want to use as much as we can, so it's cheaper, basically. And so I was like, all right, cool. And so I watched one episode, and the monster was a faucet monster, and the Rangers run into a warehouse, and the monster turns around and goes, whoa, and starts spraying the water on the Rangers, and they're like, and then it's like cutting back and forth to the monster spray, and then the Ranger's like, and then it cuts back to the Rangers, and it's like yellowish brownish. It cuts back to the monster, and he's pulled down his pants, and he's like peeing on it. He's got another faucet. Yeah, but there were things like that throughout the show, and I was like, wait, what? How do you do that? Yeah, and all I could think about is like, man, if we had that in the show, the kids would be peeing on each other. Right. And so I basically gave up. I was like, I can't write. It's actually a lot harder than I think.
That'd be a different kind of show.
Totally different show. But
so they would take the monster that they were using. They had to create the story around the monster. So that's why Austin brought up the one with the purse monster that we had in Zeo, and they made it. The cat made a purse, and it didn't even look like a purse. But they made it work somehow in the story.
Crazy. Super creative. I don't know how they saw that show and made that show.
Or like the Green Ranger. Wasn't the original Green Ranger like, didn't he have his parents turn into a monster and he had to like kill him, and then he committed suicide or something weird like that? Seppuku? He died?
I knew he died, but I didn't know it was like...
I thought it was like seppuku or something. I thought he felt guilty for killing his monster parents or something.
He got killed by a rock.
Oh, his candle ran.
A rock.
See, you guys know so much more than
Did
me.
they smash him with a rock? A boulder rolled on him.
Wow.
And that was it.
Wow.
It's Power Ranger though.
That's a terrible way to go. I know he could stop all these monsters, but the rock killed him.
A 50-foot monster. All right. Well, it is just spandex after all.
Yes. They didn't have the movies.
This one's for Catherine. God, that's Catherine, how did it feel to be the Pink Mighty Morphin Ranger for a very short season 3? For a very short season 3.
It didn't feel short to me though, because you have to remember I just came on to a show, like it wasn't, and then it rolled on to the next one. We never felt like, you guys saw it end, but it didn't end for us. It just bled into Zeo and then bled into Turbo. So it didn't feel like that to me, and I was just excited to be a working actor, to be quite honest. So.
Amen to that, sister.
Sister. There you go. Oh.
Yeah, talk into that.
So my question is, what were your greatest strengths going into Power Rangers, and what did the strengths coming out from it?
That is a good
Past.
question.
That's a great question.
Nobody has ever asked.
I was going to answer it honestly.
My greatest strength going into it.
I could say that I felt, for me, I guess confidence would be, confidence in my martial arts ability. So that, definitely. Everything else, I had no idea what I was doing. But then coming away from it, I knew so much about filmmaking, about just everything. Because we shot so much. We close to 200 episodes or something, in 2 films. Yeah. It was a lot. And so you just absorb all of that information, you know, and what works, what doesn't work, you know, and you could like things like crossing the line, you know, if you're film, you learn all these things when you're working on something like that, and you just get to like seeing Koichi work, you know, you learn a lot from him. He edits in his head, and you see him go,
Right.
oh, we need this shot, and then, you know, and it's like, what did he just do in his head? Yeah, so I'd say for me it was like martial arts and that kind of choreography, and then afterwards it was just filmmaking. Really.
Yeah. I think I was the opposite. Like I felt strong because I didn't know much about the show. So for me, I just approached it, you know, like I'm just gonna do my thing. I'm just, you know, because I think if I would have seen it, I probably subconsciously might have wanted to do something similar, just because that's what worked for those guys. But I'm glad I hadn't seen it. So for me, I was really into the acting part of it. And in the martial arts, I felt very like, oh my God, I hope I'm not the one that looks like, you know, she can't fight. Like, what? You know? So, but once you got into it, and like he said, the stunt team was so amazing, and people like Koichi, they would shoot it, and you didn't have to learn like a 20-minute fight. It looked like it was 20 minutes to you guys, but for us, it was like kick, kick, punch, and then they'd move the camera. So it was easy for me to remember a short sequence as opposed to fighting for 10 minutes. Like, I was like, oh my God. And then they just made you look so good, you know? And so if you barely tap them and they fly across the room, you know? So it was like, you know, we really got into it, we really got our confidence up, and I think by the time I left, I felt very confident in an action setting, where before I remember my first fight, and we were fighting, and I just was so nervous, because they literally were like, okay, you got 20 minutes, and I was like, 20 minutes? You know, I've never done this before, and I mean, they just make you feel so comfortable, so.
For me, I think just because I was coming from another country to this amazing experience, I just think my greatest strength was gratitude. I just felt very grateful for the opportunity. And then leaving the show, again, we were all so green when we started the show. We just didn't really know what we were doing, so it was a great training ground for all of us. So I think I just left feeling like I knew what I was doing a bit more. So.
Oh, show. I like that wig, man. That's
way too Party foul.
She's stronger than she knows.
Hi guys.
Hello.
I wanted to ask you, if you guys could have like a reality series for Power Rangers, what would you want it to be like?
A reality?
Darren Sikorsky.
Wow.
I think it would be really fun to do
Naked and Afraid.
more the convention world.
Say spandex.
I was going to say the convention world.
No,
like
Naked
this
and Afraid.
Oh, yeah.
This has been really fun for us. It was like when we first started doing conventions, it was like coming back to a school reunion for us, because we hadn't seen each other for a long time, and we get to learn so much. We've learned more about the show from you guys than we knew when we were on it.
You've seen full episodes.
I really didn't understand the Megazord. I just did not get that at all. And then I watched an episode when I started doing conventions. I'm like, oh, right.
20 years later. So that's what happened.
That's how we took them down.
Yes.
I've always had this thought of like, what if you could, and I don't know why, but like the putties, remember the putties? Right?
Oh,
so
God.
What if there were like two like henchman putties, right? And their story of like always getting beat up and remade. And then, you know, so like these two putties are in this fight and they're seeing their buddies again get beat up by the Rangers. So they just go, and they just play dead. And, you know, the Rangers leave and they're like, all right, okay. And so they go out in the real world, they try to get jobs, they're looking on Craigslist. So these two buddies,
I see it, man. I see it.
yeah.
We're having auditions next week.
Or Power Rangers after the series, you know, and so they're not, they're not Rangers anymore.
Yeah, boys and girls.
You know?
Yeah,
what happened to those guys? You know,
like
do they still have does the White Rangers have his suit still?
Oh,
Did he wash it in reds and it's now pink?
Like,
Dang it!
Tommy definitely didn't know how to do laundry.
Yeah, so can you see? And he's like walking around in his Pink Ranger and White Ranger outfit. And I was like, wait, why is it pink? You know, they got holes in their suits.
Yeah.
A lot of guys keep their holy shirts and undies. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's very comfy, all right? Guys wear it till it's nice and soft.
He likes it broken.
You like to break it.
So that's that smell.
Hey, you wash our clothes. You never bath.
Oh, sorry.
Where's the microphone?
Somebody ask a question.
Where'd it go?
I guess this one would be more for Karen and Johnny, but can you two describe your experience making the movie?
I would describe it as like an adventure within an adventure because, like, honestly, I've never been out of the country. Have you gone out of the country?
No.
So it was like we got off that plane and it was just like, oh my God, it was like a different world, even though it was, just in Australia. Australia's very different. Yeah, it's very different.
Right. It's hard to understand them.
Yeah, they don't speak the right English.
What are you saying?
Right, yeah. They didn't speak the right English, or we didn't speak the right English. Something kind of good.
Driving on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
You learn real quick though, things that you can and can't say.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't say fanny in Australia.
There's a lot of things you can't.
Really?
It means the other bottom.
Oh.
Not the behind.
The front part?
The front one.
Oh no. Yikes.
No, it's the first time someone's like, hey, you got a fag or whatever, and it's like, what?
Oh, yes, and if you say a
cigarette.
fag, it's a cigarette.
Yeah.
It's not. We don't.
Yeah. So I was like, wait, what?
And they
So-
add E to everything, so it's like the telly, the brekkie,
Right.
the E. It's like, yeah.
But we shorten everything. We shorten names. Like even if your name's Johnny, he'd be like John.
That was a terrible example. They still call me Johnny. Oh, they did say Jono. Sometimes I got Jono. Yeah.
Oh, they made it longer.
Yeah.
Like my sister's Tracy, and they call her Trace.
Yeah.
My mum tried to pick names that she couldn't shorten. Gary is Gaza.
I will say that when we were working on the movie, I could not eat half the food that was there. It was terrible.
It was not good.
It was terrible. I felt like I had no choice but to eat McDonald's.
We eat
every single
McDonald's
day.
every
I
day.
was like, oh please. You guys are eating eyeballs on fishes and, and your burgers with the works had everything. Ugh, like beetroot and stuff.
Burger with beetroot.
Anyways, I have been back and their food has definitely gotten a lot better.
The culinary has gotten better, but back in the 90s.
I may not have gone to the right places. Though.
All I did was this. We asked for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They brought us peanut butter, jelly, and butter. Like it was this thick. And we were like, what is this? How can you ruin this? We were so upset.
No, you don't do that. Vegemite, people put it on like peanut butter. You don't do it like that. You got to get a nice soft piece of white bread with lots and lots of butter, and then you just do a scraping like that. Just a little like that.
Don't even.
I think you have to grow up with it though.
Yeah, it's an acquired
Actually, my
taste.
first try of it was like, here's a spoonful.
And you ate it.
I was like, what is it? It's like,
And he was like,
chocolate?
yeah. So it was an adventure within an adventure. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun.
I wish I'd met you there. I could have taken you to places.
Oh.
Wow, I'm picking up the microphone with bracelet. I could have taken you to eat normal meals. And
That would have been nice.
Yeah, Kat, where were you?
I wasn't asked yet.
Catherine?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there you go.
So I got to speak with Margaret Loesch, president of Fox Kids back in the 90s. And basically, like, from the time you guys started the show, like, so was the bond more hands-on versus towards the end when he was having like 15 things going at once?
You mean Haim and
Yeah.
I saw Saban twice. When I got hired and like one other time when he was doing something and he just came by on set. So I didn't see him hardly at all.
Yeah,
And we actually, when we did Wild West Rangers, was the only time we ever got a letter from him.
Yeah.
Like all of us, and it was
I
like,
found
you guys
that
did a
letter.
great job. Did you really?
Yeah.
You should post that. That's great. But it was like, I don't know, because like you don't know if anything you're doing is good or not. You're just working, and it was nonstop. It was like long hours. it was like 12 to 14 hour days. It was
Yeah.
super long, and sometimes working weekends,
Yeah.
especially for ADR and whatnot. But
Yeah.
but then it was like the one time he's like, "Great job, that was very funny. Keep it up." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's nice. It would have been nice to hear more of it."
His partner Shuki Levy was more.
Shuki was there. He was the guy that was.
Yeah.
He was the one that was. The middleman, really, for
Like
us.
hands-on.
He could talk to
Good
us.
cop, bad cop.
Right, exactly. They were kind of the same person.
It was like fake
but-
bad,
yeah,
fake
yeah.
good cop.
I actually think it's the same person.
Yeah.
I think it's the same guy, but he just like
He just tries to like take his mask off.
It's like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, well, we never saw him. I saw him, like you said, we saw him when we got hired, and then I saw him at the premiere, and he didn't know who I was. So
But
that is so. That's the kind of that's how they were. They were nice. Like I mean, it wasn't like. Good job, son. It was like, do your job.
Who are you?
Or we'll replace you.
Well, when I got hired, he's like, "You are going to make me millions.
What was that?
You make some money."
Like we were like, wow.
Okay. At least he says it like it is.
He did. He did not lie.
He did not lie.
You guys should have made more.
So this one's for all you guys. Let's see, I forgot. Okay. Now since we were talking about something funny, usually on set, people have like accidents and stuff like that. Have you guys ever had like a funny experience?
Accidents? Like
Yeah.
somebody peeing their pants?
I'm not backtracking on the story there, but that did inspire me to ask this question.
Diarrhea.
Want to know if you ever had like a funny experience, like if you've actually like roundhouse someone, or if someone recognized you, had something funny to have you sign, or just like had something just really funny and you just lost it. And
On set?
yeah.
Lots of funny moments, but you had some funny ones with Jason Frank, like when the kick thing in the movie.
Which one?
Well, the car, I was going with the car.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he thought he was an action star.
That wasn't an accident.
It wasn't an accident. He wasn't supposed to like get a near-death experience thanks to Jason Frank. We all thought Johnny was gonna die that day. Johnny almost died.
That wasn't an accident.
He wasn't.
Maybe.
So accident.
You know what? Luckily we didn't, because if we would have accidentally like hurt somebody, it would have been bad. But yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that was. I mean, again, it wasn't an accident. I had to do my parachuting after lunch, and so you eat dinner, and I just like go up there, flip, pose, flip,
God, if you're hanging upside down, you're not gonna be able to help it.
It's not good, and I'm motion sickness. I get that easily, so yeah, it was bad.
Sad part is that I like mildly sprained my ankle jumping off that cliff in Turbo, and then they got they'll just pick anyone like you PA you'll do, and we'll put a wig on you like a mom and jump like this, okay? And the person did it. If you look back at that scene in Turbo, you'll see it's not me. There was a mop on her head. Yeah,
that's funny.
I think Jason Frank did some urinating maybe in the water. I wouldn't put it.
I also don't think that was an accident.
That was planned.
You're right. That was not
He
an
was
accident.
misbehaving.
I'm out of ideas.
They would not let him go to the bathroom.
Oh, sure.
They did no. He asked multiple times. I was standing right there next to him. And they were actually being very mean that whole day. Do you remember when they made me and Jason jump off of that cliff?
Yes.
And we were like, well, you're not seeing the ground, right? He was like, no, we're not seeing the ground. I was like, well, can you put pads down? No, what are you? How old are you? How old are you? Aren't you a martial artist? Like, they started calling us out.
Oh my God!
It was like, dude, but this is a pretty high cliff. We can hurt ourselves. Yeah, so there's a lot.
Just because they didn't want to get
well,
the
you
pads
guys,
out of
because the water was so freezing cold.
I got super cold. Remember, like we couldn't stop shivering, so they ended up just having you and Jason do.
Did you do that on purpose?
But see, they were being they were being so mean that day, though, for whatever reason, you know. I should share the story because you're rolling video. I want to share that story.
Yeah.
That'll be on another one, a late night. I'll share the rest of that when
That's the non-video panel.
You all need combat pay for some of this, it sounds like.
Oh, man. We need back pay,
We need to
combat
get paid,
pay.
period.
We need payment.
It wasn't.
Edit that
We had a
part,
good time though. We had a
We
good
had
time.
an amazing time. It was.
Where's the mic?
I don't know. Gosh,
Hi.
you guys are quick. Oh, hey.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
There's a long throw.
I was wondering, were you guys able to add anything to script as in being like creative with whatever you guys did that day for shooting or anything like that?
Well, sometimes there's a little bit of that. You couldn't change anything outside of what was built into the story. A perfect example is the moment in the movie where we get our ninja powers and Adam is bummed out about being a frog. So the original script, you probably remember, it was, she just goes, but we shot a lot of this other stuff too, but like he was a frog, but it was all based on speed. So it was like, you're quick, and it was whatever she said. It was like, you're Adam, you're the frog, you're quick and agile, whatever. It was like something to do with speed. Because we shot training sequences of like me training all this stuff, trying to be in the fast one. And there's this, actually we shot, like I was trying to catch flies with my chopsticks, but I couldn't. And so I pulled out my Power Ranger gun and I started shooting them all. But and then
all the good
we
stuff
did a
out.
lot.
Yeah.
We did a lot of stuff like that. So we each had different. I can't remember if yours was strength or something, but right, wasn't it?
Yeah, for the bear.
But there were different things. Like we each had like kind of like a power, you know, or an ability that was each our own and unique to us. But then that all got cut from the film. We ended up getting a whole different Dulcia, so all that training stuff was cut. And so we got to that scene, and that line was still the same. But as I was looking at it, I was bummed out about a few other things being taken out of the script, taken away from me in the script, and given to somebody else. And then I was like, dude, I don't have anything in this movie. And so when it came to that scene, I asked the director, I was like, can I just be bummed out? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, look at this. Like, you got a wolf, you got a falcon, you got all this bear, you know, they're all really cool, but then you got a frog, you know? And so I was like, can I just be bummed out about that? And he's like, well, let's shoot it first like the script, and then, you know, then we'll play on that idea. And then I was surprised. They were like, well, okay, what were you thinking? And I was like, well, I'd just be bummed out. And they're like, oh, okay, let's work that scene out. And so that was the only time I really was able to, like, I felt like I really did something. And then after that movie, I'm like, well, that's really the only thing I had.
It was better. It was a better take. Yeah, it was better.
But I mean, there wasn't a whole lot you could change. There's a line here or there you could adjust.
Yeah, you can put your personality.
Your
Sometimes
input.
you have to say weird things.
In the fight scenes too, they kind of give, what do you want to do, or do you want to try to change this up? There's certainly a lot of that, but
Yeah. You kind of had to stay within, just because
the boundaries
of
of
the
it.
editing and
Give it a
just
shot.
story.
Yep, throw it across, see where we go.
You got
Just don't
this.
hit that.
And if you don't have a question, just keep it floating.
Oh, teamwork makes the dream work.
Sorry.
There you go.
So so when you were like doing, like when you're acting, did it ever feel like when you were going back and like watching it, do you ever like cringe at it a little bit?